Welcome back to Tahoe.
Oh yeah!
Now, this might be weird, and I'm sorry if this offends you, but have you ever played Carcassonne?
A lot of people consider Carcassonne a classic. Carcassonne is a tile placement game, and I'm not sure if it's where the meeple originated, but I think it is.
In Carcassonne, you are trying to gain control over parts of the French countryside by putting down your meeples, who are servants of your color, to claim things, structures, such as roads, cities, cathedrals, or farmland. And whenever you complete, or whenever anyone completes one of those structures, if you have a meeple on that structure, you get points according to whatever structure it is that's completed, with the exception of farms, which are a long game strategy. On your turn, you draw a tile randomly, which is face down, and you look at it, and then you have to place it somewhere on the board. When you place it on the board, it has to complete or continue existing structures. You can't just have a road butt up against a city unless it's actually built into the tile, if that makes sense. When you place the tile, you have the option of placing one of your meeples somewhere on the tile that you placed on one of the structures. Like I said before, there are roads, cities, cathedrals or chapels, or monasteries, not even monasteries, and then there's farms. Let's go through those one by one. Let's start with roads. Roads are the easiest. So you put your guy on the road, and he's standing on the road on the tile that you just placed. When that road is completed, then you get 1 point for every tile that the road passes through. If you get super smart and build a circle, you don't get infinite points. Sorry, you just get 1 point per tile. Oh, bend your knees! Steve doesn't like it when I yell constructive criticism at him as he's going down the mountain. The next one is the city. The city, you just place a tile, put your dude on the city bit that you just placed. When the city is complete, as in completely walled off and whatever, whoever has the most meeples in the city gets 2 points per tile. If the tile has a little shield icon in it, that's an additional 2 points. If there's multiple shield icons, that's a multiple 2-point bonus. And this is one of the interesting things of Carcassonne. You can't continue a city and then place your meeple on that city bit of the tile that you laid if there's another meeple that already is that city that you connected to. What you can do instead is you can place the city in such a way, you can place your tile in such a way that eventually you will be able to connect your little tiny bit of city that has your little meeple on it to a larger city to gain control of that city. And that's one of the ways that Steve likes to screw me over in that game. This takeover thing that I described for the cities, where you can place a meeple on a tile and then hope to eventually connect your tiny little city with your meeple to a bigger one to take over for scoring purposes. You can also do for roads, you can also do it for farms. You can't do it for monasteries. This is because monasteries, or cathedrals or whatever they are, when you place them, you put your meeple on the monastery, and you're the only person that can do that because there's only one. When the monastery is completely surrounded, you've completed it, and you get 9 points, 1 for every tile that is around it, including itself. Normally, when you complete other structures like cities, roads, or monasteries, you get the meeple back as soon as you complete that structure. With farms, the meeple is down for the rest of the game. You don't get them back until the very end of the game, so you only have a limited set of meeples, 7, I believe. And so it's really important to conserve your meeples and not go crazy with farms. At the end of the game, if you have the most meeples on a field and no other meeples are there, you get 3 points per castle that your farmer can be directly connected to via the grass. If you want to build majority on a spot, you have to do it the way that you would sneak in to steal from somebody else. I've more or less taught you kind of the gist of playing Carcassonne. And it seems, I know, probably a little straightforward, which it is. Carcassonne is one of those games where I am genuinely surprised it's not at Walmart and Target. But it's good, it's a classic, you can get it on the iPad, you can get it to play in real life. And if you enjoy the simplicity and the small bit of strategy in Carcassonne, then there are tons of Carcassonne expansions. I believe there's 8 now. The Carcassonne franchise is just crazy, and if you haven't played Carcassonne, I would recommend you just go to your local game store. They probably have a copy in the lending library. Sit down, play it. Carcassonne is what a lot of people consider to be a gateway game. It's a very good gateway game if you're looking to get in the hobby and you're looking for good games that'll work with a lot of people. Carcassonne's a good game for that. It's about on par with Ticket to Ride. It's a different mechanic. It's tile placement and a little bit of like area control. It's not just a gateway game. It's a game that I think belongs truly in anyone's collection. There's a decent amount of strategy. It's a good gateway game. It's a good, oh, don't go down the hill. It's a good end of the night, low priority, low stress game, and the expansions make it a lot of fun. Different expansions, different strategies. This game really can grow and become a lot of things. It's a good staple. It's like rice. I mean, you can use that with everything, and there's just tons of options, and I don't even know if that analogy works, but there you go. If you'd like to pick up your own copy of Carcassonne, visit your friendly local game store. I can guarantee they have it. Or on Amazon, link down below. If you like this video, feel free to give me a thumbs up. If you'd like to see more, feel free to subscribe. And what is your favorite Carcassonne expansion? Ichi's is snow. She likes the winter expansion.